welcome all of you folks. Today is the 27th of October of 2020, and we're in our Family History Update UV Tag meeting. UV Tag is, for you who may be new, is Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group. And Gerhard Roof, who's the host of this with us today, he's online with us. He's the guy that's doing all the technical stuff, and I'm Don Snow, and Gerhard's up in Orem, Utah, and I'm down here in St. George, Utah. And today our topic is the FamilySearch Research Wiki, and it has got lots of good stuff in it, and we'll talk about how to use it and so on. The notes are online. There's an online version of the notes, and sometimes Gerhard does a PDF of it and puts it in the chat, a link to the chat. I don't know whether he's done that today or not, but down at the bottom of the screen there, where you see the uvtag.org and then /classes/dawns. We got a lot of classes on there, but mine are under dawns, and then dawns-classes.html. That's a list of all the classes, and that's where the notes are. So that if you can get to the internet, you can get to that. And all the past classes are on there.
Don?
Yep.
Well, I usually wait a little bit of time before I post the PDF of your class notes.
Oh, okay. So
I wait because people joining after I post that will not see that in the chat.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll wait about 10 minutes or so before I post that for the late arrivals.
Okay, and in the meantime, the rest of you, if you can get to the internet in a separate window, there's the link as to where those notes are that Gerhard will be posting later on. All right, well, anyway, let's talk about what this is. I want to do an overview of those notes, and so I'm going to log on to that website. It's right there in the middle of this screen so that you can see what's there. And for those of you who may be joining who have not been with us in the past, if there are any of the past classes you want to look at, the videos of the last, probably 10 or 15 classes are on there. There's a link to them on that page, as well as the notes and the handouts, and the notes go back 15 or 20 years since we've been doing these classes. Let me do a quick run through to show you what the notes look like. I'm going to hold down, let's see, the Alt-Tab key so that I can switch to the notes. And where are my notes? That's not it. That's
Keep going. One more.
There it is. Okay, yeah, here's the notes. Okay, this is, if you click on that link, this is the notes page. That's where they're all stored. There's different links here to my other notes, the Freeware Corner articles that I write and all that stuff. Even my accordion concerts are listed on here. And here's the classes coming up. And this first class, that's today's date, the 20th, the 10th of October of 2020, and there's the link, and we'll click on that in a minute. And there's the list of the classes coming up in November, and the dates and the links that are not on there yet. Here are the past classes, and there's the link for where you can find the past classes. The past classes are an hour long, most of them, except the one 2 weeks ago, and that's 30 minutes. And so we're shortening them so that they're only 30 minutes now. And here's all the other classes in the past. Now I'm going to go up right here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to hold down the Control key while I click. So it'll open that in a new window. And here is the FamilySearch Wiki, the notes for today. Now, let's take a look at this abstract. Let me just highlight that so that you can see what's here, and we'll talk about what this is. I won't read it all in detail. But it's a web page that's on the FamilySearch web page. Now, the FamilySearch web page, which many of you have a free account on, and anybody member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or not can get a free account on it. It's free to everybody. They have a lot of helps on there, and one of the major ones that's on there is the what we call the wiki, the research wiki, and that's our subject for today. It has about 94,000 articles about family history. That's 94, not 9,000, almost 100,000 articles about the wiki, and they add more all the time. These are how-to articles. There's information about programs, databases, locations, procedures, how you find information, and so on. The term wiki is a Hawaiian term, and it means quick. I think it's quick or something like that. And it means that anyone can, it's a jargon term in computer science. It means that anyone can correct it or add to it if they have permission from it. And you will see some instructions. We won't go through the details, but there are ways you can edit this yourself if you know the details of it. So we're going to talk about what's on there, how you search it, and how you get to it, first of all, and how you search it. Here's the notes. Let me turn that off so that here's the notes. There's a welcome and an introduction. Then information about the FamilySearch website. And there's a link to get to FamilySearch, but most of you know how to do that. It's just FamilySearch.org. And that will include, that'll get you to the where it is. That has the family tree on it. It's got memories. It's got all kinds of other stuff. And the one we're interested in today is the wiki. Okay, now here's the information about the Research Wiki. And so to get to it, I keep hearing a dog bark. Has somebody got a microphone on with a dog? This is the Research Wiki. You're gonna turn that off? Okay. The Research Wiki contains all these articles and so on. We'll show how to search it and what's there and the information that you can get from it. We're going to look at some examples. Item 14 lists some examples, and we'll actually look at those live here in just a couple of minutes. And we'll talk about the location of articles, about how you find them and what they talk about, and etc. And then the conclusions down here at the end. So those are the notes, and they do have links in them so that you can go to the links and actually find the what's there. All right, now let's go back to the PowerPoint. And we've now looked at this overview of the notes. And again, in the middle of the screen there is where those notes are stored that we just looked at. And I'm going to click on this, and I'll show you that again if you tuned in late, so that you'll see that again. And Gerhard will post a PDF of those notes here in a few minutes. The Research Wiki itself, it's got 94,000 articles. As of last week, there were only 93,000. And so when I corrected these notes yesterday to look at it, it's 94,000 now. Their how-tos, their locations, their databases, everything you can think of related to family history. It really is a really helpful thing for family history. It occurred to me yesterday, as I was mulling over about this, the wiki is the Google, Siri, Alexa of genealogy. I don't know how many of you have an iPhone or a Siri or an Alexa Dot, but I do when I use it. Like I ask Alexa, how do I bake a potato in a microwave? And Alexa tells me what steps you're supposed to. This is the same sort of thing. And you can even do it by voice if you want to, though most of the stuff I type in. How do I find the birth records or the birth record index for California? And it'll show you immediately. It occurred to me that it's exactly the same sort of thing that we're used to using and thinking in terms of some of these other question answer sort of things. This is how you get to it. And we'll actually do this in a minute here. You go to the FamilySearch website, FamilySearch.org. And then from there, the chevron thing, or that little arrow thing, means look for the search icon, and you'll see the search icon. And then on the search, that will open up a menu, and then go down to the Research Wiki, and that will open up the Research Wiki on there. Now, let's actually shift over and do some examples and some demos of some of this stuff and actually show you how to do this. So I'm going to hold down my Alt-Tab key and go back to Chrome. Here we are. Back to the, let's see, I guess I've probably still got those notes. Here they are, yeah. So I'm going to go down here, scroll down, and here's the FamilySearch website. I'll just click right on that. I'm going to hold down the control key while I do it, so it'll keep these notes open. This is the FamilySearch. FamilySearch.org. And most of you have seen this before. And I'll need to sign in. You don't have to sign in, but they do usually want you to. So I'll sign in, and it's already got my name in there, so it already knows, and all kinds of stuff on here that it wants me to check out and do new things, because people have been adding things to some of the names I've been working on and so on. But one of the things that you may find helpful is scroll way down to the very bottom, and down here at the bottom, you see the words about, volunteer, blog, sitemap, DNA, etc. Click on sitemap. I'll hold down the control key while I click on it, and watch what happens on the sitemap. I find these really helpful in websites, and many websites do have a sitemap. Here's a list of all the stuff that's under each one of the different menus in FamilySearch. So there's the family tree, here's all that stuff, memories and the gallery, how you add memories, historical records, record indexing, temple ordinances, and all that sort of thing. Go on down here to where it says get and give help. And you see get help here, contact FamilySearch and so on. Right there, there's the Research Wiki, it's listed there. But we'll get to it an easier way here in a minute. But you can see by glancing at some of this stuff, the kind of stuff that's on that one website. This is just the website, FamilySearch. And they're making an effort now to get some of the helps easier to use, because it has been sometimes it's been very hard to even find what you're looking for. Now, in general, to get to the Research Wiki, you wouldn't have to come clear down here. Just do it at the top. I'm going to scroll back up. Well, let's see, I guess I got to get back over here to scroll back up to the top. All this is stuff that they want me to take care of, and sooner or later I will, but not right now. Whoops, didn't mean to get that. Scroll back down. Okay, you see the words across the top here. There's FamilySearch over here. Then there's Family Tree. There's that word search, and then memories and all that. If you click on search, it opens up all this stuff. What do you want to do? Records and all this stuff. And right down here is Research Wiki. It's right down at the bottom. And so I will click on Research Wiki. It will now open up. I probably should have held well, I guess we probably won't need to get back to there. So this will be good enough. If I'd held down the control key, it would have opened it up in a separate window. This is what the main screen of the FamilySearch Research Wiki is. Now, first thing you see here is there's a big map of the world. And if you're looking for a location and you know where it is already, then you can click on the continent and then go to the country and all that sort of thing. But usually you may not know where that is, or you're not looking for a country record, you're looking for some other kind of a thing. So this is a list of localities. We'll try some of those later. But look over here on the left side. I'm going to scroll back up. Over here on the left side, here's a list of all kinds of things that you can get to. Now look at the second, I don't know whether you can see where my cursor is. I've got a big red blob on it, so hopefully it'll make it a little more visible. It says Wiki Home. Any place you're in the wiki that you want to come back to this front page, click on that Wiki Home, and that'll get you right back here. This is about the wiki. Here's the online genealogy records. And they do have online, it links to lots of online stuff. The guided research. Oh, this is all kinds of stuff that sometimes you probably want to browse through and take time to go through a lot of this stuff over here. There's information about family history centers and branches. And of course, all the family history centers are still closed because of the COVID problem. So some of them are open and helping patrons via the Zoom or something, but most of them won't let you in inside to get access to their information. But there's information on the centers and all that sort of thing. You can give feedback to it. Anyway, all that stuff is over there. Now, right here in the center of the top, where I'm circling now with my cursor, is a search box. Now, I've got a bunch of ancestors that came from Massachusetts. It was before the U.S. was formed, so it was back in the 1600s. But suppose I'm looking for Massachusetts vital records, Massachusetts vital records. Okay, I hit enter, and it came up with someplace here, it'll tell me how many different things it found. I don't see it. It's up there somewhere where it tells me how many. But just take a look at here. Here's birth, marriage, and death records, United States vital records, pre. Well, anyway, you can just there's a whole story here as to what happened. So if you're interested in a different state of the U.S. and you want to know how do you find vital records for that state, type in that state and vital records or birth records or whatever you're looking for, and you'll find an article like this that will give you all the details. Look, here says this pre-1850 TAN books. Some of you who've done Massachusetts research know that the state of Massachusetts gave money to all the cities if they would compile all their records, their birth, death, marriage, and death records, and put them in books. And they published those books. There's 100, I don't know, close to 200 of those things for every different city in Massachusetts pre-1850. They did this around 1900, I think. They call them here the TAN books. When I used to use them, they were yellow. We called them the yellow peril. And there were just loads of stuff. But anyway, this tells you how to get to them and all the details. So you just scroll down through here, you just find just all kinds of stuff as to how you do it. And that came up immediately just by typing in Massachusetts vital records. Now, anytime you type in something, the search box jumps over here to the right. So it's up at the top. So if you want to search for something else, I was thinking the other day, you know, the church, the FamilySearch used to have the old California birth index, but it's gone. I couldn't find it. It's on Ancestry, but I couldn't find it here. So I just typed in California birth index and hit enter. And lo and behold, there's the link to it right there. So it's just like asking Siri or Alexa, how do I find the California birth index? And so on. Here's the birth index, the information about it, and how you get to it, and what records they contain, and how do you search it, and one thing and another on there. It's right there. And I didn't know that this was still on FamilySearch because I thought it had disappeared from there. Let's see, someplace in here, there'll be a link. How do I get to the link? Someplace in here, there'll be a link to actually get to it. I was going to show you the illustration of that, because as soon as I found this a couple of days ago, I typed in my brother's name to see him, and it's right on there with him and the information. Citing the collection, where is it? How to contribute to the well, anyway, I don't see it on there, but it's in there somewhere. There'll be a link, and I found it the other day and clicked on the link so that I could see what was there. Now, suppose you're working in a family history center, or somehow you've got some information, and somebody says, "Oh, I've got ancestry from Myanmar," and you don't even know where that is in the world or what it is. Many of you do know, but it's Myanmar. So I just type in Myanmar, formerly Burma, genealogy. So it's over in Asia, and here's the country information, the details about it. And in most of these locations, you see a thing down here. You see these two big kind of boxes. One is Myanmar, Burma, online genealogy records. So you can click on that, and it will tell you the records that are available for Myanmar. Or over here, ask the community. Now, those are two, and for most locations, whether it's in the US or the world or a state or a city, whatever, you'll find information like this to those two big links. The one of them, the online genealogy records, gives you all the sources and the links as to how you'd find details of birth, marriage, and death records, or newspapers, or anything that's online related to that country. The other one, Ask the Community, gives you information about the FamilySearch Facebook communities. Now, for most of them, most of the communities, most of the areas in the world, there's a list of people who are interested in the genealogy of that country or that area or that state or city, whatever it happens to be. And if you click on that, it will take you to the information where those people have got a group organized, and you can ask a question there. Or if you have an article that is from some newspaper that's written in that language, you can say, could somebody please translate this for me? And you will find somebody on there who will be willing to translate the thing for you. It's a phenomenal source of helps. It's the communities, and they're all listed on here by each of the countries, each of the states, and all the different sorts of things. You frequently on here find information, maps. There's a map of it. You find frequently information about the history of it, their flags, and so on, all the different sorts of things that are relate to that country. So there's just a gold mine of information. You might want to type in something like, let's go back up to the top here, and type in something like over here on, let's see, where's the search? There's the search. State censuses. Did I spell that right? Don't know whether I spelled it right. It'll pick up. Yeah, I got it mostly spelled right. It'll say, did you really mean, if you misspell it somewhat. Here's information about United States school records, Philippine censuses, North Dakota censuses. Many of the states did censuses in between the decade years when the federal census did, the federal government did the census. And so you can frequently find state censuses that are in between years for those. And they're all listed on here. Information as to how you find them and which ones they had and so on. So you can, here's Alabama census, and you can actually click on that and it'll give you the details as to how to find it and what to do with it. Anyway, it's just got a whole lot of good information as to what you might want to do on it. Now, over on the, let's see, those were some of the examples. Did I have any other examples I was going to show you? I was going to show you that California one, but I can't find the link to it, so I won't take time to do that. On item 15 on your notes, the location of articles, the location of the articles about locations frequently include the list of online sources as well as the communities, so that you can get to those as we've mentioned it. Now, at any time that you want to get back to the home page, over here, remember I said that Wiki Home thing, that top one on the left side, Wiki Home will take you right back to this page. And so here you are on the back on the home page. Let me just click on North America here to show you what it looks like as to what happens. It says it's loading the information about North America, and they'll be listing the countries, the states, well, the countries first, and then the states, because Canada and Mexico and all that's in North America. It looks like my internet is slow because it's still loading these, and so that's not coming up, so it's not going to be much of an illustration for you. But wherever you are, whatever you're looking for, you can actually find the information about it. Now, there's other things over here on the side. Did that ever come up? No, it didn't. So let's just go back to the, I'll just click back to the wiki, back to the home page. Okay, now over here on the side, there's 2 or 3 things that are really helpful on the about the wiki. There's one. This is an article, FamilySearch Wiki, about what it is, the FamilySearch Wiki. And I don't remember whether I put a link to this on there directly, but you can get to it over on the left side there. How you do it, and what it's good for, and so on. There is a complete information in here about how you contribute to the wiki and what you do, and how you can actually edit the thing. There's all these things over here they're all listed over on the left side. This Wiki University, That's, see, I'm over here on the left side again. The Wiki University, if I click on Wiki University, there it is. It's mostly about how do you, there's lessons here on how do you actually edit this? What do you go through? What do you do to edit something if you want to add to it? When the Wiki first came out, Diane and I were over working in the Family History Center in London, England. And it turned out that a friend of mine was in charge of this at the time. And when I looked at the London resources that were given in the Wiki, they didn't mention the Family History Center in London, which all genealogists there in London knew about and came in all the time. And so I emailed my friend and I said, hey, it's wonderful, though, the Wiki, but there's nothing on about the Family History Center in here. He wrote back and he said, yeah, Don, he said, there isn't. He said, but you know, it's a Wiki, so you do it. And so I hadn't thought about me doing it, but that's what this is. It's crowdsourcing. So I screwed up my courage and figured out how to do it and added to it and added in the information about the London Family History Center so that it would be available to people to see. So you can add to it and you can correct things if you find errors in it and so on. Now that gives you a quick summary of what's going on with this. Let's go back over here. I'm going back to my notes. I just clicked on my browser here, so I'm back over to the notes. And yeah, I'll give you the link again if you tuned in late as to where these are stored. They're online now. And Gerhard by this time has put a PDF in the chat of this so that you can get to it yourself. The FamilySearch website we talked about.
Is your home safe?
The FamilySearch Research Wiki, we've talked about all of that and some of this stuff, and then the conclusions down here. Now let me shift back to our whoops, I meant to get to this. And so we've looked at examples and so on. Here's a summary of what we've talked about. What the FamilySearch Research Wiki is, and it's just like the Siri, Alexa, Google of genealogy. How to find it, we showed how to find it on the FamilySearch website, how to use it, how to search it, and some ideas about using it. So that's the story about what's happening with this. And so there's a couple of minutes here for questions if anybody has a question or two they want to ask. And Gerhard, do you have any questions on anything that came in on Facebook or?
No questions have come in. I did post that link in the chat so that you can download the PDF of Don's class notes on there. I'm looking at others that might have stated something. There's nothing else in the chat. Feel free to unmute your microphone and make any comments or ask questions as you like.
And while you're doing that, the notes are stored down at the bottom. You see across the bottom of this screen, that's that link again where the notes are stored. They're online. And so all my class notes are there. And if there are no questions, keep in mind the Research Wiki. When somebody asks you a question, and especially for family history and temple consultants for family history centers, if somebody asks you a question, how do you find information about Bulgaria? I have the faintest idea how you would say, let's see what the Wiki has to say. And click on it, type it in, and you'll find a history of the country and how you find the records and what records are available.
By the way, Don, if you want to show that California Vital Records Index, it was in the very upper right-hand corner of the page.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
If we got enough time, what time is it? It's still got a minute or two.
Yeah.
Let me go to back to, let's see, that was in, let's see, let's go back to the Wiki, and we'll get to it from right here. Then search. It's probably still up on my screen here on one of these things, but I won't take time to look for it. And then I typed in California, CALIFORNI, California Birth Index. I suppose many states have done that. There's the birth index. Okay. Now you say is the link
Far right, upper right, little
upper
lower.
right?
Access the records, it says on the right.
Oh, it's covered up. I got to get,
No, a little lower.
well, I got to minimize this because it's,
Move your cursor down.
I know, hang on. The screen is covered up with my other thing. Okay. Where is it? Right here. Access the record. Yeah. If I hadn't, yeah. If I hadn't, I had the Zoom thing covering it up, so I couldn't see
it's right
it.
underneath the access. There
Yeah.
it is. Now
There
you're
it is. Yeah. I shouldn't have covered up the picture with your pictures of you people who are watching. Let me illustrate this. Let me show you. This is my brother, Sydney Richard Snow. Whoops. I didn't get clear over there. Snow. Okay, and then hit enter. And there he is, top one. I'm going to click on, he's born in California, born on the 22nd of June, 1929. My dad was from here in St. George, but he moved to California, and so I grew up down there. And Dick was my older brother. He was a professor of genetics at UC Davis for years. He died many years ago, and that's why I used him as an illustration here. But there's the information, record collection. There's the details about him. And so you can find, if you got a California ancestor or kid, that if any of your kids were born in California, you'll find them on here if it's the right time period. Remember, it's got to be, I think this was between, yeah, here's the thing, from 1905 to 1995. So it's 90 years, but it includes that time period. And it's that simple to find. And I did not know this was still on FamilySearch. I've been going to Ancestry to use their version of it. And here it is right here on Ancestry, on FamilySearch. Thanks, Gerhard. Appreciate it. I should have moved those pictures and had a minus sign because I had all the pictures covering it of the Zoom pictures. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
Great job, Don and Gerhard.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right. Well, anyway, this will be recorded, so it'll be available for people to watch on Facebook. And there's many others on there for quite a while. We leave them on there for a couple of 3 months. And if you're a member of the UV tag, then you got access to all of them for later.